What's up guys, welcome to Tech Predator. On March 8, 2022, Apple introduced the 5th generation iPad Air, featuring the M1 chip, 5G connectivity, and a new front-facing camera system. The new iPad Air comes almost a year after Apple introduced its current iPad Pro lineup, which also features the M1 chip and 5G connectivity, but sports a number of high-end features like ProMotion and a Thunderbolt port. The introduction of the previous 4th generation iPad Air in September 2020 brought the device much closer to the iPad Pro in terms of design, and with the latest model, the iPad Air has gained the same M1 chip as the iPad Pro, bringing them even closer together. Despite this, the iPad Air and iPad Pro are still quite different devices intended for different groups of users. Should you consider purchasing the iPad Air to save money, or do you need the high-end features of the iPad Pro? Our guide answers the question of how to decide which of these two iPads is best for you. The iPad Air and iPad Pro share a large number of key features, such as industrial design with flat edges, the Liquid Retina display with 264 pixels per inch, also the full lamination, oleophobic and anti-reflective coating, the wide P3 color. Also both has got True Tone. Both are run with M1 chip of next generation neural engine and 5G connectivity. While looking at its cameras, the rear camera is 12 megapixel with 1.8 aperture and a digital zoom up to 5 times and Smart HDR3 for photos. The front-facing ultra-wide camera is also 12 megapixel with 2.4 and has 2 times optical zoom out and center stage 4K video recording at 24 fps, 25 fps, 30 fps, or 60 fps, and also you can record a video of 1080p HD resolution at 25 fps, 30 fps or 60 fps. Both the iPads has also got extended dynamic range for video up to 30 fps and 3x video zoom, the slow-mo video support for 1080p at 120 fps or 240 fps time-lapse video with stabilization. Both the iPad has all-day 10-hour battery life, and both supports Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.0 connectivity, and USB Type-C connector compatible with Magic Keyboard, Smart Keyboard Folio, and Apple Pencil of 2nd generation. Apple's specification breakdown shows that the two iPads share many of their most important features, not least the M1 chip. Even so, there are an even larger number of meaningful differences between the iPad Air and iPad Pro that are worth highlighting, including their displays, authentication technologies, and rear camera setups. While looking the differences among them, the iPad Air 2022 has a Touch ID which is built-in top button, while iPad Pro 2021 has Face ID, enabled by True Depth camera. The display of iPad Air is Liquid Retina LED, with size of 10.9 inches and with a typical brightness of 500 nits. While the iPad Pro come with 11 inches and 12.9 inches Liquid Retina XDR Mini LED display, with 120 Hz of ProMotion technology and maximum brightness of 1600 nits and a typical brightness of 600 nits. Both the iPads got 5 times digital zoom, but the optical zoom of iPad Air 2022 is 3 times, while it is 2 times in iPad Pro 2021. There are 2 speakers for audio landscape mode in iPad Air 2022, while there are 4 speakers in iPad Pro 2021. iPad Air also lack mm 5G connectivity, while iPad Pro 2022 has got this feature of millimeters wave 5G connectivity. Looking at the RAM and internal storage, you won't get much variance in iPad Air. There is only one variant of 8GB of RAM with 256GB internal storage. There are 2 variants in iPad Pro of 8 or 16GB RAM and up to 2TB internal storage. There are much color variants in iPad Air. You can choose iPad Air in blue, silver, gray, starlight pink and purple color options. Well, there aren't many color options in iPad Pro. You can choose iPad Pro 2021 in just 2 colors, like silver or space gray. Starting price of iPad Air is $599, while that of iPad Pro is $799. Overall, the iPad Air is the better option for the majority of users, simply on the basis of value for money. For most people, the additional $200 plus needed to buy the iPad Pro will not be justified to get the likes of Face ID, a more versatile rear camera system, 4-speaker audio, and a ProMotion display with refresh rates up to 120 Hz. Some iPad Pro features, such as LiDAR, the ultra-wide rear camera, larger storage options and up to 16GB of memory, and Thunderbolt connectivity, will only be practically useful to a small niche of iPad users. Most users will never use some of these high-end features. Indeed, many features such as the True Tone Flash, millimeter wave 5G connectivity, audio zoom, and stereo audio recording may not be meaningfully utilized by many users. Professionals who have a clear use case for needing larger amounts of RAM and storage, Thunderbolt connectivity, and mini LED for HDR content will benefit from buying the iPad Pro. Prosumers will also enjoy features such as 120Hz ProMotion for smoother scrolling and gaming, deeper blacks, and more vivid colors, with a mini LED display, and lighter for Arkansas experiences, even if they are not necessary, and those who want a larger 12.9-inch display for content consumption will similarly need to go with a higher-end iPad Pro model. Prosumers and professionals who want the iPad to replace their laptop or computer should likely choose the 12.9-inch iPad Pro if they are pairing it with a Magic Keyboard due to the added screen space for multiple applications. This larger iPad Pro is considerably different to the iPad Air, setting itself apart with mini LED and a much larger display. Beyond these individual circumstances, the iPad Air is the best option and will be more than ample for most users' needs. With the iPad Air, users can get an all-screen design, the M1 chip, practical features like USB Type-C and 5G connectivity, and compatibility with the latest Apple accessories. Hopefully this video was helpful to you guys. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more. Thanks for watching and goodbye.